welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into a new blueprint for leadership, one that's designed to solve a really tough puzzle that even the most advanced labs are facing right now. All right, so let's jump right in with a question that's on a lot of minds in the lab world. You've got these organizations pouring money into the absolute latest tech. I'm talking cutting-edge automation, slick digital systems. But for some reason, the performance gains, things like efficiency or how fast they get results, they just plateau, they hit a wall. So what's really going on?
And here's the thing, the argument we're looking at today is pretty compelling. It says the problem, it's not the technology, it's the capability. It's the idea that the leadership, the culture, the way people work together, it just hasn't kept up. The human side of the equation, which is arguably the most important part for getting a real return on all that expensive equipment, has kind of been forgotten. And that is exactly where the solution starts to take shape. See, to close that capability gap, it's not about buying more machines. It's about developing a completely new kind of leader, someone who is actually trained to guide these big, complex transformations. So, what do we call this new kind of leader? They're called the Certified Laboratory Transformation Leader, or CLTL for short. Think of it as a professional credential, a certification that proves someone knows how to lead real, measurable, and sustainable change by weaving together those three critical pieces: the people, the processes, and, of course, the technology.
Now, what's really cool here is that this isn't just some fancy title you put on a business card. It's a role that's built on a proven, evidence-based playbook for success, and it's called the Impact Framework.
Okay, so the heart of all this is the Impact Framework. It gives you a super clear 4-stage journey. First, you discover. You figure out where you are right now. Then you build a roadmap, complete with a solid business case. After that, you implement. You actually lead the changes. And maybe most importantly, you sustain, making sure those improvements don't just fade away. It's a structured path from we have a problem to we have a permanent solution. And the whole CLTL curriculum is built around this journey. You learn about everything from leadership and making a business case, all the way to sustaining the change and making sure it lines up with all the important quality standards. Each piece connects to the next, creating this awesome continuous improvement loop. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Hold on. Isn't this what we pay expensive consultants a ton of money to do? Well, that's the interesting part. The CLTL model is all about a fundamental shift away from that old way of doing things. And this table just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got traditional consulting. An outside expert comes in, gives you a report, and then they leave. And all that knowledge walks right out the door with them. But on the other side, the CLTL approach is all about collaborative transformation. It's about empowering your own people to lead the change, baking that knowledge into your organization's DNA, and focusing on performance that lasts. So yeah, the key takeaway here is that this is an empowerment model, plain and simple. The whole point is to build up your organization's internal muscle, its ability to lead change itself, so you're not constantly depending on outsiders every single time a new challenge pops up. And you know what happens when you focus on empowerment like this? The benefits don't just stop with one person or one project. It creates this amazing positive ripple effect that spreads across the entire laboratory ecosystem. So let's break that down. First up, let's talk about the individual. How does this kind of training take someone from just being a manager or a contributor to being a true leader of change? Well, for an individual, getting that CLTL credential basically makes you a recognized, certified transformation leader. You walk away with a structured methodology you can use anywhere. You build incredible credibility with executives because you can actually show a measurable return on investment. And hey, you get to join a whole global community of people just like you. Okay, so that's the individual. But what about the technology vendors? The companies that partner with these labs. How does a model like this actually help them? For them, it's a huge deal. Having CLTL certified people on their team means they can stop being just another vendor. They become a trusted performance partner. They speak the same language of transformation as their clients. They help them get way more value out of their solutions. And that, of course, builds much stronger long-term relationships. And finally, let's bring it all home. Back to where we started, the labs themselves. What's the bottom line for the organization's performance? For the lab, it's pretty straightforward. You get certified leaders who can drive change from the inside. This leads to real, measurable wins in efficiency and quality. It makes sure your strategy and your technology are finally on the same page. And it gives you confidence that those massive investments you're making will actually deliver the results you were promised. And when you put all of these pieces together, the certification, the continuous learning, the mentorship, you create something called a performance flywheel. It's this awesome self-reinforcing system where your team's capability just keeps getting stronger. Improvement happens faster and faster, and that success is locked in for the long haul. So why is this so important right now? Well, because the pressure on labs, it's not going away. In fact, it's only getting more intense. And for anyone who's ready to step up and meet that challenge, the path to becoming a CLTL is actually really accessible. You can see here it's a 6-month journey that blends online and live sessions. The time commitment each week is totally manageable, and the best part, it all leads up to you earning the credential by working on a real-world project with a mentor that delivers value right away.
I think this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Technology alone is not enough. As labs are staring down this incredible wave of change from things like AI and automation, it's never been more clear that just buying the next shiny object isn't the answer. You absolutely have to have people with the collaborative capability to make it all come together. So the CLTL credential, it really lays out a clear path for anyone who's ready to build a more resilient, high-performing future for their organization. The only real question left is, are you ready to lead that change?